Welcome back, everyone, to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host, as always, LitecoinLeader. Let's take these off. Hopefully I have to deal with the glare. They may have to go back on, but I had several different things to talk about today. But first off, I wanted to say that, my microphone forgot a wire, so just got to go with the raw audio. Should be good enough today, but we're going to keep it brief today. It's Wednesday. It's a drive-along day. Just got out of my haircut. Finally got that done. And there was a lot that I could be talking about today. I could be talking about the CPI, the inflation, which everybody seems to be talking about today. No surprise, it's higher than usual. I will talk more about that on the AMA tonight. My AMA is free on this channel on YouTube, open to everyone. You can stop by, ask a question. Doesn't cost you anything to ask a question. And we'll sit there for 30 to 60 minutes, however long we want to chat, and I'll be happy to answer anything and everything that I can. I think Divvy Daddy will be stopping by at some point to hop on and chat with me. We'll probably talk more about CPI and why the dollar is so strong and why inflation's so high. So we'll talk all about that. We'll talk about world economics then. Also, I could be talking about adoption, especially about all the third world nations and the BRICS countries. I'll talk more about that tomorrow. I've talked about some of that on Instagram as well. But today what I want to talk about is a particular effect called the Bullwhip effect. And it's very telling today because it's one of the Amazon Prime days. Now, Amazon normally does not do a Prime Day like this. They normally do it, for around Thanksgiving or somewhere like the Black Monday type of thing. So, but there's a renewed interest in trying to sell things right now, and I wanted to explain why that's happening. So we're talking about supply chain economics, what's going on, what you may see at the store for the next 3 to 6 months, and what you need to do about it just to be prepared so you can know what to expect. So the bullwhip effect is kind of like if you ever look at a bullwhip from the side, it kind of looks like if you've ever been at the gym or seen someone at the gym and they have the ropes that they're just like this, tossing up and down with their hands. Basically, you're creating a wave. But the bullwhip effect is that there's a little wave, then there's a bigger wave, and there's a bigger wave after that. So that is the bullwave effect. So the bullwave effect, as it applies to supply chain, is such that, okay, 2 years ago, when everybody was first at home, right? Everybody was at home. They couldn't go out and buy stuff. There wasn't a whole lot at stores to buy, but they were ordering for Amazon. They were ordering online delivery, and all these different orders were coming in for Amazon and some large, big box stores that could deliver. And there was a big demand. And then there was the stimulus checks that came out, and everybody had a little bit more cash, and they were spending it, right? And they were spending it to help things go through and stem the tide. And there's a lot of money. Allegedly, there was a lot of money that people were spending because they were working home projects, do-it-yourself projects. They were stuck at home, or home offices, or whatever. What this led to is a certain products like lumber and other things. Like Home Depot saw a big demand for tools and lumber and construction materials. I'm sure Home Depot, Amazon saw a big uptick in entertainment for the home, like video game systems, that sort of thing, stereo systems, TVs, because everybody was home, stuck at watching Netflix or whatever at home. So that demand led to so there was a big demand back then in 2020, and then for the next year or so it kind of was there, and people were like, then we started having a supply chain crunch where we couldn't get as many things from other countries that would be delivering to us. So there was this demand, high demand, low supply, so prices went up. And what happened with the suppliers, they saw that people wanted stuff, so they started making more goods. Also, wholesalers and retailers were asking for more stuff so they could sell because they had the demand. They couldn't stock their shelves. So there was this big orders and demand and forecasting of saying, we're going to need more of this, we're going to need more of that. And there was a demand for certain products. Over time, what happened is that supply waned because prices started going up, inflation went up, jobs didn't return as fast as people expected. So last year it started to be a pullback on spending, and that basically since last Christmas and through January, it's really been an issue where you just didn't have enough supply, and people were concerned and holding back on their money supply because prices were going up. They needed to conserve to pay for food, for gas, for essentials, basically. And the wants were taking a backseat to the needs. So So, but at the same time, when people started to pull back on what they were buying, wholesalers and retailers were saying stock up, stock up, stock up, and they were putting demands on suppliers, said we want more inventory. Well, that's starting to come home now in 2022, in the middle of 2022, where inflation's high again. It's even higher. People are even more concerned about the prices of the essentials, and they're being a lot less, they're being more frugal with their dollars. They're not spending as much. So now you have retailers saying, hey, we've got all this inventory. How are we going to get rid of it? Because it costs us to stock it. We have new stuff coming in. We don't have room for it. What are we going to do? So Amazon has a Prime Day here in July. Not typical, but they're having it so that people can hopefully find some deals, and they will, with lower prices, be able to spark renewed interest in getting people to, you know, open up that pocketbook and say, or that wallet, and part with some cash for some goods that they have for sale. Some people are buying, some people aren't, and that's just the nature of the business right now. But that's going to continue probably for the balance of 2022, because inflation has no end in sight. These price pressures have no end in sight. So there's going to be pressure on prices, and people are not going to spend as much, but retailers have to try and sell stuff. So look for prices to come down. As prices come down, that's going to be an impact to the economy overall. And they're going to see people that, like, they're not going to, so retailers are going to be dropping price more and more and more. Bumpy road, sorry. So then they'll be pricing prices lower and lower, and there's going to be more and more deals coming. So expect more deals to be coming for the next 3 to 6 months as the retailers are trying to sell their goods and their wares and spark renewed interest in people to buy stuff. And that's the bullwhip effect. So first there was a big demand and low supply. Now there's a big supply and no demand. And that's just going to continue through the supply chain. So it's going to be tough for a little while, but that's part of what's going to be going on in the economy. That's some of the things that we're going to be talking about on my Patreon or on my AMA tonight. So that's what I wanted to share with the bullwhip effect was. So you may be hearing that. I know George Gammon did a video on it. I know Uneducated Economist Simon did a couple videos on it. So look for, a lot of people are going to be picking up on that trend. So expect to see that a lot, and it'll have a ripple effect, no pun intended, throughout the economy, throughout the supply chain, and eventually get back to crypto as well. So with all that said, I want to hope I see you tonight on the free AMA, and I'm just going to close the door on the bureau, say follow leader one more time, get off this bumpy road, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.